on a note, but he knows now that the more often that you talk to your loved ones, the more that they will be there.
I would imagine most of you had pets in your life that when they died, it was just traumatic. Well, when I was 15, my parents moved from Los Angeles up to a place called Pismo Beach. And one day my dad said, let's go get you a dog. And we went out and we got this German Shepherd puppy. And he had the biggest paws you ever saw. There was about 6 or 8 of them there. And I chose this one and I picked him up and he licked my face and he became what I wanted. And my dad always taught me to pay my own way. And this time, the dog cost $25, and I went to pull out my wallet to pay my half because my dad would always pay half and I'd always pay the other half. This time he said, no, no, son, this is my gift to you. And so he bought me this dog. Well, within about 4 to 6 months later, my dad died, and my dad was my very best friend. And after he died, this dog became my very best friend. And we went everywhere together. And one of Janie's first visions in heaven was there was my dog Barney waiting for her at the end of this tunnel. So as soon as she got to heaven, and every night he's waiting for her. And my parents have told me stories about little turtles that I had, which I remember like yesterday because I love those little turtles. They're all up there with my mom and my dad and with all my family. And our all our loved ones are up there with our families. They're all well taken care of. And I'm gonna share one more thing that Janie has this special gift that she has shared with me that she is my soulmate, and at night she'll be sound asleep and she'll roll over and she'll hug me, and during her sleep talk she'll say, "The mommy's hugging you." And it's the best feeling in the world. And I say this because your loved ones are doing the same thing. We're just trying to tell you what we've experienced. And then she'll hug me again and say, "Grandma's hugging you." And then she might grab me again and say, "Aunt Lillian's hugging you." And the other night, after we got done with one of our presentations, she hugged me so hard I could hardly breathe. And she said, "All of the angels that were at the meeting are hugging you." And I was so touched. And then my dad used to always rub my head. He at night, Janie will reach up and she'll rub my head. And she's sound asleep. And she'd say, "The daddy's rubbing your head." And then all of a sudden she'll rub my head. "Grandpa's rubbing your head." Well, over the last few months, I've reached up and I've grabbed her hand. And I hear this moan out of Janie's mouth. How touched my family is when I reach up and try to hold one's hands. They can feel it. And they're there all the time. And the more you believe, the more you talk to them, the more time they'll be with you. They have this wonderful life in heaven. They're doing all these wonderful things, but they're still connected to us. My parents are with me every day checking on me, and they're with us a lot because they want us to get this word out. But they have this wonderful life in heaven too. And the more you share with your loved ones, the more they'll be there. I'm going to let Jeannie.
I also wanted to tell you that when you get to heaven, there are no illnesses, there are no mental diseases, nobody is handicapped, and everybody is as young and beautiful as they want to be. Most of the people there I see, they're in their 20s. All the men have a full head of hair. They're all healthy, strong. I have yet to see anybody in glasses with no hair. They want a mustache, so be it. They don't want to shave, they don't have to. And for us women who like to wear makeup and have our hair just so, let me tell you about heaven. When you go to heaven and you put your makeup on the first time, you do your hair, it stays that way. You look beautiful. It doesn't matter if you're swimming, going water skiing, going snow skiing. Remember, everybody there is young and healthy and vibrant and alive. It doesn't matter if they died when they were 107. When you go to heaven, You can be as young or as old as you want to be, and most people choose to be in their 20s and healthy. If you were shorter when you were here, Richard's dad was short, 5'6". He's real tall now, and his mother loved ice skating. She couldn't ice skate, but let me tell you, in heaven, she is like Peggy Fleming. She is the best ice skater that you've ever seen. She wears these little foo outfits, and her husband, Richard's dad, goes fishing right next to her. And heaven is all about what you want it to be. Richard's family makes their home in an area that they've recreated in the likeness of Hawaii because that was their favorite place. But I also have a friend whose mother passed away about 30 years ago, and she makes her home in heaven, which is probably right here. She's probably right here watching us because we have like this road trip of angels that go with us. But heaven is always still right here around you. It's not clear out there in the sky someplace. But she loved the mountains, and so her home in heaven is she's kind of divided it. She loved the mountains and she loved the river. So she has this home in heaven where it's hard to describe because it's heaven, but on one side there's like this invisible line, and on one side it's a river that's frozen over, and you can go ice fishing there, and there's beautiful mountains and snow and little flakes here and there, and then you can put your foot on the other side in heaven, and over here it's tropical, it's warm, you can go jet skiing, go back over here and it's snowy and cabin-like, but the weather there is always beautiful, it's always perfect, it's not too hot, it's not too cold, and for us to like clothes, you want the wardrobe from heaven.